Meet Miyuki Shirogane, the ultimate virgin brainiac with the highest grades in the country and the fearless leader of the Shuchiin Academy Student Council. Alongside him is Kaguya Shinomiya, the dazzlingly dumb rich and ridiculously talented vice president. Together, they're the power duo everyone at school ships as the perfect couple. But they're not dating. Why not? You ask? Because admitting they like each other would be like waving a giant white flag of defeat. And for these two prideful perfectionists, confessing is about as appealing as failing a test. Nope, they're not about to let that happen. The truth is, after spending so much time scheming, debating, and generally being around each other, Miyuki and Kaguya are head over heels. The problem? Both of them are way too stubborn to make the first move. So, instead of just saying, I like you, they've turned love into a full-blown war. It's a battlefield of wits, mind games, and the most over-the-top plans to trick the other into confessing first. Welcome to Shuchiin Academy, where the elite strut around like peacocks, and the drama is juicier than a soap opera. This school doesn't just let anyone in. It's all about big brains, fat wallets, and reputations so shiny you could see your reflection in them. Naturally, the student council is top-tier royalty here, and at the center of it all are our power couple-to-be. President Miyuki Shirogane, the try-hard genius with the work ethic of a caffeinated squirrel, and Vice President Kaguya Shinomiya, a walking iceberg of haughty perfection. As these two head to the student council room, everyone around them swoons like they're starring in a K-drama. Karen and Erica, the resident fangirls, practically combust every time Kaguya and Miyuki breathe in the same vicinity, but inside the council room. Oh, it's a whole different vibe. Rumor has it these two are secretly dating. Miyuki's all, BFF'd, no way, but secretly thinks, if she begged me, I'd probably say yes. She's totally into me. She just hasn't realized it yet. Meanwhile, Kaguya's over here thinking me? Date a commoner? Never. Unless he begged. Then maybe I'd consider. 6 months later, neither of these stubborn nerds has cracked, and their denial has morphed into a full-blown battle of wits. Now, it's not about if they date. It's about making the other one confess first. These two are so petty that even their chess matches have more tension than an action movie. Enter Chika Fujiwara, dumb airhead of the student council. She randomly wins 2 tickets to a romance movie and offers them up. Miyuki's about to accept finally, right? But then Chika casually mentions some superstition that couples who watch it together become an item. Cue Miyuki's internal freakout. If I ask her now, it'll look like I'm asking her out. So he flips the script and go ask Kaguya if she believes in that silly superstition. Kaguya, caught off guard but unwilling to admit that she would love to go if only he asked her properly. She even busts out the Miss Innocent routine, grabs his hand, and whispers something like trying about romance. Miyuki's brain? Absolute scrambled eggs. Just when things are about to spiral into romantic oblivion, Chika pulls out another set of tickets, derailing their entire mental gymnastics match. They're so frazzled they need sugar to recharge, but there's only one steamed bun in the room. Winner gets the bun. Who takes it? Neither. Chika, the walking hurricane, swipes it and skips off to class. Battle status. Draw. One day, Kaguya finds a love letter in her shoebox, how old school, and it sends the student council room into chaos. Chika's all, odd, a date. But Miyuki's over here like men seeking love are weak. Dating? Pathetic. When asked if she'll accept, Kaguya casually drops a yes, leaving Miyuki reeling. But plot twist, she's bluffing. She wouldn't date some rando unless he passed a list of requirements longer than her family tree. Miyuki, panicked, decides to pull rank as student council president and declares, no dates allowed. Kaguya, with the audacity of a queen, fires back. Expel me if you must. I'll pour my heart and soul into this date. Miyuki, now visibly sweating, offers a half-baked for the sake of argument confession to throw her off. The tension gets so thick even Chika, the chaos gremlin herself, gets emotional and hugs Kaguya, begging her not to leave. In the end, Kaguya's bluff gets called, and she loses. Score. Miyuki 1, Kaguya 0. One day, Kaguya sees Miyuki sharing his lunch with Chika, and not just any lunch, a homemade lunch. Kaguya's pride refuses to let her ask for a bite, but watching Chika fawn over Miyuki's cooking sends her into a silent, jealous meltdown. She spends the entire next night plotting and comes in the next day with an extravagant lunch meant to bait Miyuki into trading with her. Her plan: Flop City. Miyuki, sensing her weirdly intense vibe, wolfs down his food and bolts out of the room before she can even start. Kaguya sits there, mortified, but Chika, ever the wild card, offers her part of her own lunch, officially ending their one-sided feud. Final score: Miyuki technically wins by fleeing, but let's call it a moral victory for Kaguya. So, Miyuki finally cracks and buys himself a smartphone, because even a cheapskate can't survive on flip phones forever. He swaps IDs with Chika without breaking a sweat and eagerly waits for Kaguya to follow suit. But nope, our ice queen is too cool for that and leaves him hanging. Miyuki's pride won't let him ask for her number because, in his mind, that'd be like admitting defeat. Kaguya, of course, knows exactly what he's thinking. She's already 10 steps ahead, plotting how to make him ask her. The tension turns into a silent death match until Miyuki drops his trump card. He changes his profile picture to a baby photo. Chika gushes over how cute he was, and now Kaguya has to see it. But Miyuki plays it cool, saying he'll delete it in 3 minutes. Kaguya, Being Kaguya turns on the waterworks. Fake tears, 10/10 performance. Miyuki caves like a sandcastle in high tide and shows her the photo. The battle ends in a draw, though, when Chika cheerfully points out that Kaguya's ancient flip phone wouldn't support such high-tech wizardry anyway. Winter's got Chika dreaming of summer, so she suggests a student council trip. Everyone's on board, but now the question is, where to go? Miyuki votes for the mountains, picturing serene hikes and clean air. Kaguya, naturally, picks the sea, imagining romantic sunsets and totally not bikini opportunities. What starts as a friendly chat turns into a full-blown debate. Miyuki lists the perks of mountains' cool breezes, scenic views, bear-free zones. Hopefully. Kaguya counters with the glory of the sea beach volleyball, ocean waves, and romance-worthy strolls. Just when it seems like Kaguya's won, Chika drops the bombshell. She needs a new swimsuit because her old one doesn't fit anymore. Why? Her bust got bigger. Kaguya, self-conscious about her less than voluptuous figure, is absolutely floored. With her composure in tatters, she and Miyuki agree to let Chika pick the destination. Chika, in peak chaotic fashion, chooses a creepy mountain known for ghost sightings. The battle, ruined. Tsubasa, a lovesick student who comes to Miyuki for romance advice. Miyuki, desperate to protect his romance expert reputation, agrees to help even though he's got the dating experience of a potato. Tsubasa spills his heart out. He's into a girl named Nagisa, but doesn't know how to confess. Miyuki, trying to sound wise, asks if Nagisa's given any signs. Turns out she gave him chocolates once, but Tsubasa brushes it off because of some awkward, single moment she had with her friends. Miyuki's galaxy brain concludes that all the girls must secretly love Tsubasa, horrified at the potential drama bomb he's created. Miyuki advises Tsubasa to stop overthinking and just confess. Tsubasa is thrilled, calling Miyuki the only guy capable of taming Kaguya. Miyuki denying everything and going on a rant about how irritating Kaguya is, listing her flaws one by one. What he doesn't realize, Kaguya is eavesdropping. Then, in a twist worthy of a rom-com, Miyuki says, but honestly, those flaws are what I love about her most. A total lie to cover his tracks, but it works. Tsubasa takes the advice, confesses, and scores a girlfriend. Meanwhile, Miyuki realizes he's in deep trouble, and Kaguya is suspiciously nicer to him afterward. So, the headmaster confiscates this super suspicious magazine, and naturally, it ends up in the hands of the student council. How? Don't ask. Chika flips through it and immediately announces, this thing is scandalous. Turns out, there's a survey claiming that 34% of high school students have already done it. Chika's meltdown and Miyuki suddenly very interested in reading this educational material. Kaguya casually picks up the magazine, skims it, and drops the ultimate bombshell. 34%? That seems low. Everyone stops breathing. Then, with zero hesitation, Kaguya declares she's not a virgin. Chaos erupts. Miyuki and Chika are floored, and you can almost see their souls leaving their bodies. Kaguya, spotting an opportunity, decides to weaponize this revelation. She needles Miyuki about his dating life and straight up asks if he's done it. Miyuki, panicking, bluffs that he has. This backfires spectacularly when Kaguya, using the worst logic known to humankind, decides he must have done it with his little sister. Miyuki's outrage is palpable, but before he can explain, Kaguya proudly admits she's done it too with her newborn nephew. She even says it was videotaped. Let's all take a moment to scream internally. Miyuki, backed into a corner of nonsense, finally snaps. Do you even know what doing it means? Kaguya's confident answer? Kissing. Turns out, Kaguya's ultra-strict upbringing left her horrendously misinformed about birds, bees, and everything in between. Chika steps in as the unlikely hero, giving Kaguya a crash course in sex ed. Kaguya's brain breaks, and she's declared the loser of this wild, unnecessary battle. Later that evening, Kaguya and Miyuki are chilling in the student council office, reflecting on how much they've grown. Kaguya's like, you think you know me so well now. Prove it. Let's play 20 questions. Miyuki's in, ready to flex his brain power. The game begins, and Miyuki starts connecting the dots. The answer to her mystery? It's probably him. All the clues line up. The affection, the subtle hints. But just as Miyuki's about to smugly declare himself the answer, he hesitates. He knows Kaguya better than anyone. So, he guesses. A dog. He's right. Kaguya is impressed, but also low-key annoyed. They both pass the day's test and head home, silently wondering who really won that round. One day, Kaguya's usual chauffeur-driven ride to school is canceled thanks to a stray cat getting stuck in the car engine. Don't worry, the cat's fine. Instead of waiting for another ride, Kaguya decides to walk to school, much to the horror of her chauffeur. But her trusty valet Ai backs her up, and off she goes, scheming about accidentally running into Miyuki on his bike near the bridge. But plans never go as planned, right? On her way, Kaguya meets a little girl named Makiti, who's too scared to cross the street alone. Being the elegant and secretly kind Kaguya, she helps Makiti, only to get roped into escorting her all the way to school. Along the way, they pick up Mikiti's friend Inaga, and Kaguya is now running a full-on daycare. That's when Miyuki shows up, furious. Walking to school? You'll be late. What kind of example are you setting? Before Kaguya can protest, he insists she ride on the back of his bike. The rom-com moment as they speed off together, Kaguya awkwardly clinging to him. A few days later, Kaguya is back in her car and spots Mikiri and Inaga walking to school together. She smiles, proud of her small but significant contribution to their friendship and maybe a little wistful about her unexpected bike ride. The Academy's throwing a welcome party for their French visitors, and what better way to celebrate than a cosplay party, right? That's totally normal. Naturally, Kaguya shows up rocking a pair of cat ears, and Miyuki is absolutely smitten. But since admitting that would mean losing the eternal battle of wills, he tries to act normal. Except his version of normal is so terrifyingly intense it makes Chika nearly jump out of her skin. In a delightful act of revenge, Kaguya pops the cat ears onto Miyuki. And wouldn't you know it, she suddenly finds herself completely mesmerized. Trying to suppress her massive grin, Kaguya bites her tongue, but still can't hide the faint smile creeping onto her face. Miyuki is perplexed. When Kaguya tells him he looks very good, he assumes she's being sarcastic. Kaguya wants a photo for posterity read. Future blackmail, but Miyuki, ever paranoid, refuses. Chika, though, isn't having any of that and drags both of them into an impromptu photo shoot. Things get so heated over the ears that Chika confiscates them altogether, crowning herself the ultimate loser of this ridiculous battle. With the party looming, Chika realizes they need to grab some souvenir sweets. Naturally, it's decided this will be a two-person job. Miyuki's secretly hoping to pair up with Kaguya, but in true student council fashion, the task will be decided by a game. Enter band word. The game kicks off, and Chika immediately starts freestyling like she's auditioning for a rap battle. Meanwhile, Kaguya sits there, stone-faced and silent, which Miyuki calls out as cheating. She reluctantly starts speaking, and Miyuki, sensing an opening, asks Chika what she hates. Chika reveals her greatest insecurity, being told she's bad at reading the room. The emotional moment lures Kaguya into saying her banned word by accident. Smelling victory, Miyuki confidently declares she's going to get serious. Too bad that was his banned word. Chika, the unexpected victor, assigns Miyuki and Kaguya to fetch the sweets together. Kaguya loses the game, but Miyuki, he's quietly celebrating his win in the Get Closer to Kaguya department. Kaguya is brainstorming how to get Miyuki to contact her more often. Ai, her ever-scheming valet, suggests skipping texts and going straight to calling him. Without warning, Ai dials Miyuki's number and hands the phone to a horrified Kaguya. But surprise, the person who picks up isn't Miyuki, it's his dad. Papa Shirogane's no-nonsense attitude sends Kaguya into panic mode until Miyuki finally comes to the rescue. He picks up from the bathtub and schedules a meetup for the next day. Kaguya accidentally hangs up mid-conversation, flustering both of them. Miyuki sends a follow-up text to finish his thought, and Kaguya counts it as a win. The next day, it's pouring cats and dogs. Ai outright forbids Kaguya from leaving the house, forcing her to send a rain-check text that takes her 30 minutes to compose. Meanwhile, Miyuki's already waiting in the rain, declaring his victory in this little skirmish. The big day is here, and the welcome party's a hit. The principal, Adolf Pescarolo, because of course he has a dramatic name, praises the student council. During the party, Miyuki casually asks Kaguya if she speaks French. She claims she's not great, but when a French student strikes up a conversation, Kaguya switches to fluent French like it's no big deal. Miyuki's floored, but the surprises don't stop there. Chika also speaks French fluently, thanks to her mom being a diplomat. Poor Miyuki realizes he's the only one who doesn't speak the language. Turns out, this was all part of the principal's plan to test Miyuki's character. Enter Betsy, a French firecracker tasked with giving Miyuki a hard time. She unleashes a scathing tirade in French, but since Miyuki doesn't understand a word, he just smiles and agrees. Frustrated, Betsy ramps up her insults, but Kaguya jumps in to give her a taste of her own medicine in flawless French. Betsy, thoroughly traumatized, flees the scene. After the party, Miyuki thanks Kaguya for her support. Nagisa comes to Kaguya for romance advice, and Kaguya, being the perfect image of poise and panic, agrees to help. Except there's a twist. Nagisa isn't looking to make her relationship better, she's thinking about breaking up with her boyfriend, Tsubasa. Now, Kaguya is sweating bullets because she has zero experience in love herself, but is determined to rise to the occasion. After all, if Miyuki could pull off romance advice, so can she. Probably. Nagisa spills the tea. Tsubasa confessed to her, and she said yes. But since then, they've been awkwardly distant. To figure out what's up, Kaguya asks Nagisa to list Tsubasa's good qualities. Nagisa hesitates, so Kaguya helps her out by rattling off examples. Unfortunately, those examples sound a lot like Miyuki, which makes Kaguya blush like a fire hydrant. She quickly recovers with some sage advice she totally didn't steal from personal feelings. Focusing on the good in your partner can make love bloom. Enter Chika, aka the love detective. She crashes the convo with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer, proclaiming herself the expert in matters of the heart. Her suggestion? Picture Tsubasa with another woman. Kaguya tries it too. Nagisa looks sad, but Kaguya? She's straight up glaring at the imaginary hussy in her head. Chika, the genius, concludes, the more jealous you feel, the deeper your love. Nagisa realizes she's head over heels for Tsubasa. Not wanting to be outdone, Kaguya pulls out the Romeo and Juliet effect. Basically, the bigger the obstacle in your love story, the stronger your bond. But Nagisa points out there's no obstacle in her relationship. Chika's response? Society is the enemy. She backs this up with a rant about the man oppressing young love, and Nagisa is so hyped she bolts out of there, ready to take on the world with Tsubasa. Later, Kaguya frets about what chaos she might have unleashed, but Chika assures her everything's fine, and it is. Nagisa and Tsubasa, along with some random kids, are collecting donations in the city center. Even Miyuki's there helping out. The battle result? Kaguya takes the L, but hey, love wins. Cut to Miyuki alone in the gym, trying to spike a volleyball. Spoiler, it's not going well. Even Miyuki is a genius academically. His coordination is a bit questionable. Just as he flubs another spike, Chika shows up, startling him. Turns out, she's just there to grab something she left behind. But when she realizes what Miyuki's up to, she offers to help. Miyuki, desperate but prideful, only agrees after Chika impressively demonstrates a serve that may or may not have been a fluke. Then comes the big reveal. Miyuki's technique is so bad, Chika figures out he's been serving with his eyes closed. What follows is 4 days of grueling volleyball boot camp. Chika, ever the taskmaster, puts Miyuki through the ringer until he can finally hit a decent serve. When he does, it's a triumphant moment for about 5 seconds because Chika's already moved on to teaching him how to toss and receive. Fast forward a week, and Miyuki's transformed into a volleyball prodigy. During a match, he absolutely crushes it, making Chika beam with pride. The match ends with both of them as victors. Miyuki's dignity fully restored. It's pouring rain as the student council wraps up for the day. Kaguya and Miyuki are both stuck without their usual rides home, and for completely unrelated reasons. Both claim they don't have an umbrella. Spoiler, they both do. What starts as a casual chat quickly escalates into a battle of wits as they try to expose each other's lie. Kaguya, ever the strategist, even sabotaged her car ride earlier to set up this totally spontaneous moment with Miyuki. Just as she's about to pull the ultimate checkmate, Chika waltzes in, hands her an umbrella she forgot. Kaguya's flawless plan? Shattered. To save face, she offers her umbrella to Miyuki. He refuses at first, but eventually agrees to share it. The two walk home, awkwardly holding the umbrella together like something straight out of a cheesy rom-com. The final result? A tie. But the real winner is us for getting to witness this hilarious standoff. Meet Yu, the student council treasurer with a knack for dramatics. One day he drops a bombshell. He wants to quit his position. Miyuki, the ever-dedicated president, begs him to reconsider, but Yu stands firm. Why? Simple. He's convinced Kaguya is plotting his murder. Yu spills the tea, recounting his near-death experiences. One time, he accidentally messed up one of Kaguya's plans and got threatened. Another time, he almost spilled the beans about Kaguya's non-existent feelings for Miyuki, and her reaction gave him the chills. He even claims Chika's in more danger than him based solely on the killer glares Kaguya supposedly sends her way. According to Yu's expert calculations, Chika has less than 2 months to live. Just then, Kaguya enters the room, covered in blood and holding a knife. Yu and Miyuki freeze in terror, thinking this is the end. But surprise, it's just a prank she was helping the drama club with props. Unfortunately, the damage is done, and Yu is more convinced than ever that Kaguya is out to get him. Then Chika walks in, looking like a bloody mess with a knife in her chest. Another prank, while Yu is ready to call it quits and flee for his life. Miyuki assures him he needs to trust his friends, even if one of them might be a little terrifying. Kaguya later pulls Yu aside, thanks him for keeping her secrets, but then lightly threatens him not to resign. The result? Yu takes the L. He's staying, but he's scared stiff. Chika shows up with a personality test book she found in the library and insists on testing Miyuki. Kaguya, intrigued, joins in, prepared for anything Chika might throw her way. The first question, it casually reveals that Miyuki dreams of having 9 kids. Everyone's reeling. For the next question, Chika ropes in Yu and Kaguya, making it a group activity. Kaguya is ready. She's mentally prepped for this exact scenario. The question is meant to reveal who you're in love with. Yu's answer? Kaguya, which she hilariously misinterprets as him having a crush on her. She's flattered but definitely not interested. Meanwhile, Miyuki answers his sister, causing everyone to label him a cis-con. Yu, completely overwhelmed, decides to leave for the day, muttering something about visiting a hospital. Fed up with the book, Chika switches things up with a question from the internet. This one asks how much you'd love someone based on the number of flowers you'd give them. Kaguya answers with a modest bouquet, but Miyuki, he goes full send, saying he'd give a truckload. The room falls silent as Miyuki realizes he just confessed his over-the-top feelings. The match ends with Miyuki losing, as Kaguya basks in her small but satisfying victory. Later that day, Kaguya's valet, Ai, stops by the student council room. Much to Kaguya's annoyance, Ai, dressed casually but brimming with confidence, argues that flaunting her high society status is all part of the game. Inspired by this logic and the desire to impress Miyuki, Kaguya lets Ai do her nails. Next day, Kaguya's focus is laser sharp. Will Miyuki notice her nails? She tries everything short of waving her hands in his face, but Miyuki remains silent. Inside, though, he's freaking out, thinking that complimenting her nails might somehow count as sexual harassment. Meanwhile, Yu notices that Chika has used a new conditioner, and in peak Yu fashion, comments that her hair smells like a baby. Chika, understandably creeped out, shuts him down so hard that Yu leaves, declaring his intent to die. By the end of the day, Kaguya is feeling dejected. As she sulks her way out of the schoolyard, Miyuki rushes after her, trying to muster the courage to compliment her nails. Flustered and stammering, he fails spectacularly, but still manages to convey his admiration. Kaguya wins this round, walking away victorious and blushing. Tsubasa is back, and he's panicking. The poor guy runs to Miyuki for relationship advice again, and while Miyuki isn't exactly confident in his love guru skills, he agrees to help. And, of course, Kaguya is lurking nearby, eavesdropping like it's her favorite hobby. This time, Tsubasa's issue? He wants to hold Nagisa's hand. That's it. Miyuki breathes a sigh of relief, thinking, finally, an easy one. But oh no, things spiral fast. Miyuki suggests renting a boat for a romantic hand-holding date, but Tsubasa doesn't have the cash for that. So, Miyuki advises him to get a part-time job. But wait, boats require licenses, which are expensive, which means yep, another reason to get a job. Then, Tsubasa drops another bombshell. His hands are super sweaty. Miyuki, diagnosing the issue like a discount WebMD, declares it's palmar hyperhidrosis. Of course, the cure is surgery. And guess what? Surgery is expensive. So guess who needs a job? Hint, it's Tsubasa. Miyuki even offers to spend his summer working with Tsubasa to help him out. Just when it looks like Miyuki's entire summer vacation is doomed, Chika swoops in with the simplest advice. Just grab her hand. Sweaty or not, she's your girlfriend. A few days later, Tsubasa does exactly that, and it works like a charm. The result? Tsubasa wins while Miyuki's overthinking is a big fat loss. That's the end of the recap. Let us know if you want part 2 by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to avoid being virgin forever. See you guys in the next video.